Hello, beautiful people. We're live. Welcome back to day 23 of 30 days of financial wellness with Sapphire Star, owner and founder of Organized Chaos, where we help our clients empower the money mindset, master their finances, and own their future through real estate investing. Today, I want to talk with you guys about or share some tips before becoming homeowners. We've been talking for the past 22 days about financial readiness, about financial wellness, about organizing our finances to boldly walk into the life that we deserve and desire. And all of the tips and strategies that I've shared with you is crucial and important, especially along this financial wellness journey. If you owner, before we get into the tips and whatnot, I want to share with you it's not too late to sign up for our 2025 Money and Mindset Challenge at www.sapphirestar.com. Also, we have a find, fund, and close your next investment property in 90 days mastermind class this Thursday, September 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a free Zoom event. Sign up at sapphirestar2rs.com. And so when it comes to home ownership, that's the pathway. But let me make a quick point here is that your primary residence is not necessarily an investment property. I know some people say that when you buy a home, this is your investment property. It can be. It has the potential to be. But if it's your primary residence and it's not bringing money into your pocket, then it is not an investment. Investments bring money into your pocket. Your primary property is taking money out and you're taking from your income. It's a part of your expenses. So it's very important to understand that distinction. Unless, for example, you had rental properties where you are a rental property that you were renting out the rooms, which in real estate investing lingo, that is called house hacking. Hey, Tiana, how are you? That is called house hacking, which is a strategy that I've used in my investment portfolio where I rent rooms out of a property and use that money to pay the mortgage. So essentially, I'm living rent free, and anything above the expenses that are left over is what is known as cash flow. Now, we're not going to get too much into that today. And if you want to learn how to start investing in real estate with little money or little experience, make sure you go to my website at sapphirestar.com and sign up for the Find, Fund, and Close Your Next Deal, because these are the strategies. Again, pathway. This is the direction you're moving in to becoming financially free and beginning building wealth. And yesterday, I finished the STAR framework method, talking about the STAR framework method, which is a quick recap. Is in this STAR method is a pathway to becoming financial free and starting to begin to build wealth. And the S stands for shift your money mindset. The T is for take action. The A is allocate your income strategically. The R is reduce debt, restore credit. And the last R is real wealth begins with you, meaning real wealth begins with investing in yourself. your skill set in real assets like a business or real estate. And so today I wanted to talk about some tips that you should consider before becoming a homeowner. I know, the American dream, we're taught to, go to school, get a good paying job, become a homeowner, work the job or start your business. This is the pathway. But I really think people don't necessarily take the time to really fully understand the responsibility of becoming a homeowner. It's a huge benefit. But I do believe it's important that you understand some things before you take that leap into a 30-year mortgage, a 30-year obligation that it's not necessarily fixed. You can have a fixed, I don't want to say mortgage. You can have a fixed mortgage, which is your principal and interest, but your taxes and insurance is going to fluctuate. And I believe this wave of foreclosures that we are having after the pandemic is a result of properties, being on the market. That was a huge boom, and people were purchasing homes at very low interest rate, but they were getting in above what they can afford or right at what they can afford, not realizing that the following year taxes and insurance and inflation skyrocketed. So people were like, wait a minute. Like I thought this is what my mortgage payment was, and then when that went up, they were confused and they didn't understand, and now they were stretched beyond what they can afford. And then some people like will sell it, but then with interest rates driving up, you're going to get a lot less house than you would have been able, or than what you currently have. So some financial readiness things that you should consider before becoming a homeowner is saving for a number one is saving for a down payment and closing costs. Obviously, there's expenses that come along with purchasing a home, and I think it's very important once you say, hey, I want to become a homeowner, begin that process of saving for a down payment and closing costs or any other moving expenses you may incur as a result of becoming a homeowner. Also, you want to think about budgeting. How much can you afford when it comes to a mortgage? So making sure that you have a practice of budgeting, understanding your income, understanding your expenses. That's very, very important before you become a homeowner. There's this rule of thumb called the 28-36 rule. And basically that rule is your total housing expenses, which is your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and other housing expenses that you may have, should not exceed 28% of your take home income. And then the 36%, so basically your total monthly debts, including your mortgage. So your PITI housing expenses plus any credit card debt, any car loan debt, any loans, any other loans that you may have should not exceed 36%. If these numbers are exceeded, that means that you are house poor, and you could very well be one paycheck away from losing your property. So this is very, very important to understand before you go into becoming a homeowner. And the last tip is assessing your credit. Your credit score is very, very important when it comes to becoming a homeowner, because the higher your score, the less it costs for the money. I'll say that again. The higher your credit score, the less it costs you to borrow the money, which can make a difference between what your monthly PITI, which is principal, interest, tax, and insurance, could be. And so I know some people, when they're thinking about an FHA, a VA, or conventional loan, they're thinking about, oh, what's the minimum credit score I can get to get approved. And that's great. But honestly, again, the higher your score, the better your rate, the less money it costs you over time. So it's very, very important to get your credit together, but also have an understanding of how credit works and understanding the things you need to do before applying for a mortgage. I always tell my credit coaching clients that maybe 6 months before pulling that trigger, you should not be making any new purchases or acquiring any new debt. You want to make sure all you've been consistently for at least a year, you've been consistently paying your bills on time. You've been paying down debt, because that debt to income ratio is very, very important when being considered for a mortgage. And so all these things are important and crucial, and it's really about understanding. They have so many programs out there, like, for example, the Habitat for Humanity and NACA, for example, that can help you get the education. I think the Dream Buyers program right here in Savannah, to help you get the education and understanding before you become a homeowner. Obviously, at Organized Chaos, we can help you with the personal finance coaching piece. We can help you with the credit piece. We can even help you with the investing piece if you already have a primary residence and now you're looking to leverage that primary residence, like using a HELOC, to now purchase a investment property. Like I said before, there's so many things that you can do with a primary residence to set you up to creating financial freedom, as well as beginning to build wealth. And we're going to talk more about different ways to fund and find fund deals in real estate investing when you don't have a lot of money or experience in my next upcoming class. So make sure you are registered for that class if you are interested in learning how to invest in real estate. So, hey, Ms. Bowles, thank you so much for tuning in the live. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you know someone that can use this information, please feel free to share this information. Hey, Ms. Connie, thank you so much for tuning in the live today. If you're ready to level up your money and your mindset, type ready into the comment section, because everything that we do when it comes to financial wellness is about our mindset, is about our action, is about results. It's about how can we live a life where we are having an impact. What type of impact, legacy do you want to leave? These are the questions that I encourage you to think about and consider on your financial wellness journey. Remember, you are not alone. We're all in this together. And if you're looking for a partner to help you along the way, let's connect at www.sapphirestar.com. Yes, Miss Tracy Bowles, ready, 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 ready. You know, at Organized Chaos, what our motto is: stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow.